verse 10 is saying we, and he's talking to the people of Ephesus, the people in Ephesus, the church at Ephesus. The audience are Israelites.
And it says that we
That's the
should walk in
audience.
them. And then it says, wherefore remember that ye
Ye,
being,
yeah, ye. Wait. The ye is the same we.
nah, I don't see
These are
that.
pronouns, bro. It just
I don't see
says
that the we is the same as the ye. I see that the
wait.
ye is,
Ye, wait. It says wait. Hold on. I got you, but that is, man. Look, English goes out the window when we deal with the Bible. It's crazy. Ephesians 2:10.
The book of
For
Ephesians,
we, go ahead, go ahead.
yes, sir. The book of Ephesians, chapter 2 and verse 10. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto good works.
So who is the we is himself and who else? The audience,
oh,
correct?
the we would be the, yeah, it would be the church. Yeah. It would be combined. Yeah.
Right. So the next part when it says wherefore remember that ye, that's the we.
I think the ye
But
is just
it,
talking
but
about
it,
the
he's
receive,
talking about
the rec-
them. He's talking right. He's talking about them, and he's not including himself in that.
yeah, the recipient. Yeah. So that's the
Right.
recipient of the
But
letter.
verse
That's
10, right? Verse 10, he is including himself in that, which indicates that these are Israelites. Verse 11, he says ye. He's still talking to the same people, but he's not including himself. So these are who?
these are Gentiles. Because like, look, this is like if I
Can't
wrote a
be.
letter to you,
Can't
right?
be.
Look, all right,
Can't
let's say
be.
that. No, look, if I wrote a letter to you, right, and
Yo,
I'm
that's
saying that,
crazy.
no,
That's
let me, can
crazy.
I give you an example why I look at it like that? Can I give you an example? Let's say I wrote a letter to you. I'm the Israelites, and let's say hypothetically, since you don't have that understanding, that is like real Gentiles, right? And I'm saying that we, as a group, the church, we're God's workmanship, and we're supposed to walk and walk basically in good works within Christ, which God ordained, right? And I'm saying that ye, I'm talking about your group, them, which is them, that group. I'm saying that ye in times past, Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is made, which is called the circumcision in the flesh. I'm talking about two separate groups, but I'm saying when I say we,
No, but
I'm
these ain't
including.
two separate groups though, because historically, okay, Israelites were told to do what? They had to circumcise their children, correct?
I'm sorry, you said Israelites, yeah, they had to circumcise.
Okay. Was there ever a point in time where Israelites didn't do that?
No, because by law it was required that you had to
That's not
circumcise.
true. That's not true.
By
This is
law, if
why
you,
history. This is why you're trying to convince me that the Israelites kept the laws, and historically they didn't. There was a large group that did not. That's why the northern kingdom was literally cut off because they weren't keeping the law. So to say that there was not a time in history where Israel did not get circumcised is false. Give me that in First Maccabees 1. First Maccabees 1. You know what I want, reader? I just want to get
41
straight to the point. No, I just want to get straight to the point.
and verse
Verse 60.
60. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised.
Read.
And they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them.
Read.
Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
So you had Israelites that were going against what the king had commanded, which would be called the circumcision. And then you had Israelites that conformed. This is how we know. Jump up to verse 43.
Verse 43. Yea,
Read 42. Read 42 and 43.
yes, sir. And every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
So you had other nations that agreed. They had no problem. Okay, fine, cool. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, we'll be Greeks, like the Egyptians. They did because Ptolemy ruled over there, and they just okay, yeah, fine, Greek. Okay, cool. They had no problem. Read.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
So you had Israelites that consented to that. Now listen, you may not believe in the Apocrypha, but this is historical. I got books on this. I got secular books on this. Okay, this is a true fact. This is what happened. So when Paul is talking about the circumcision, these are the Jews that kept circumcision. They kept doing it because um, there was a group called the Assyrians. Matter of fact, do you know where the Pharisees even come from?
The word Pharisee, no, I'm not familiar where it come from.
Okay, so this is why history is so important. Pharisee comes from the line of the Maccabees that were called the Assyrians that kept the laws. They kept the laws and they fought against the Greeks. They were not eating the unclean things. They remained circumcising and they remained sacrificing. As a matter of fact, they warred with the Greeks and they rededicated the temple so that they can do their sacrifices, which is where you get Hanukkah from, which Christ kept. So this is historic, and through time and the translation of words or transliteration, excuse me, not transliteration, but the translation of words from that time that we read about till now, those Assyrians became known as Greeks. I mean, as Pharisees. So those Pharisees were called the circumcision because they kept doing it. That's historical. And the Israelites that consented to the religion, were called the uncircumcision. That's why when you read Acts 16, verse 1.
Yes, sir. The book of Acts, chapter 16 and verse 1. Then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there named Timotheus, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess, and believed, but his father was a Greek.
His father was a Greek in name because he kept the Greek customs. And it's going to show you that he did keep the Greek customs. His mother believed because Timothy believed. Timothy was taught. Timothy grew up under and had a good name amongst the Jews. But his father was a Greek in name and in action. It's going to show you. Read on.
Which was well reported of by the brethren that were at Lystra and Iconium. Him would Paul have to go forth with him, and took and circumcised him because of the Jews which were in those quarters.
Now, why did he circumcise Timothy? Timothy was not circumcised. Why? Because of how his father raised him. Because that was his father, his father, his father's father were some of those people that consented to the Greeks. That's history. Hey, give me the other one about bodily exercise.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm about to split your wig right here. Not in a malicious sense.
But refuse profane and old wives' fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness.
So he's talking about old wives' fables, things from the past. Read on.
For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things.
Wait, why is he talking about bodily exercise? So wait, Timothy, who he's talking to, he was a bishop in Macedonia, which was a Greek province, and he was a bishop in other areas too, which were Greek provinces, Greek cities. Why is he why bring up bodily exercise? What does that have to do with anything he's talking about? Second Maccabees chapter 4, verse 15. I'm about to show you.
The book of Second Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 15. Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
So the Israelites at this time, jump up to verse 13.
Verse 13. Now such was the height of Greek fashions, an increase of heathenish manners, through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that
Uh-huh.
ungodly wretch, and
Read,
no high priest,
read.
that the priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar, but despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hasten to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise.
In the place of where?
Of exercise.
Because our foreparents during the Greek captivity neglected God, neglected the laws and commandments, stopped sacrificing, and they began to follow in the Greek customs. So they began to hasten in the unlawful allowance and be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise. Read on.
After the game of discus called them forth,
Read.
not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
They like the glory of the Grecians best of all. So now we're learning. Now go to First Maccabees chapter 1.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 13. The certain of the people were so forward therein, that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
Uh-huh.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according
At
to the
where?
customs. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen,
And let's see what else they did. What was the customs of the heathen that our people partook in? Read.
and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen.
So when they joined themselves to the heathen, they became Greeks. Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. They became Greeks. They became the uncircumcision.
The book of
Read that.
Second Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
You could not profess yourself to be that. So you had to call yourself Gentile names. That's biblical. Go ahead.
And in the day of the king's birth, every month, they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices.
Now, we already read what this all entails: following after their customs, not being circumcised, being called uncircumcised. We read that in First Maccabees, and the exercise, following after what we now know as the Olympics or discus and all of that type of stuff. Read on.
Moreover, verse 9, And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
Now, if you
Then might
didn't
a
follow
man
their
have seen,
ways,
excuse me.
if you didn't follow their ways, you'd be put to death. That's the history that Paul is most definitely aware of because he's addressing it. He's talking about exercise. Why is he talking about exercise? Obviously, because of the past. So when he's speaking about the circumcision and the uncircumcision is not talking about other nations. That's talking about the history of the Israelites.